I'm here today to call you out on your bullshit, my friend, because it's something that I wish I'd done to myself a lot longer ago. Call me a wishful thinker, call me a hopeless optimist, call me I don't know what other words do you use to describe somebody with absolutely ridiculous ideas. Call me whatever you want, bro. I firmly believe that everybody in this world, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you come from, what you do, what you say, where you were born, blah, 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 it doesn't matter. I believe that you as an individual are born with a dream, right? You want to fundamentally do something with your life. Honestly, I don't think that you would have been put here if there wasn't something, it doesn't matter what that thing is. It can be belly dancing, it can be recording dumbass YouTube videos like this one, it can be music, it can be science, whatever it is, right? I fundamentally believe that everybody on this planet was born with some type of desire, some kind of drive or want to do something that they love. And honestly, so many people may watch this video right now and say, well, now I don't even know what I want. Like, I think I have dreams, but I'm just lost. I have absolutely no idea what that dream is. And that's fine. Like, don't get me wrong. That's perfectly fine. All I'm saying is that if you are a human being, there is at least something that tickles your fancy just a little bit, or there is a big dream that you've held in your heart for a very long time that you've always wanted to pursue, but you seem to have never gotten around to doing it. But if you are watching this video right now, and if you are by any chance anything like your boy over here, I have a bit of a problem when it comes to my dreams, right? And maybe you can kind of relate to this problem. And that is the problem of the fact that your dream may seem too ambitious. Maybe your dreams are just so big and so far-fetched that you just look at yourself some days and the dreams you set for yourself and you think to yourself, that's a lot of yourselves in one sentence. Sorry for the English. But you sit with yourself and think, how the hell am I going to achieve all these dreams? Like, this is just maybe a little bit too much for me. They might be a little bit too ambitious. Now, don't get me wrong, this can be a very good, but also a very bad thing, right? If you have great, big, ambitious dreams, you are so much more likely to find a much higher level of success than the guy who kind of just set his standards low, right? If you aim low, that's pretty much what you'll get. But if you reach, it's like that cliche quote, right? If you reach for what's the quote again? Jeez, bro, I'm really unprepared for these things. If you reach for the moon or the stars, at least you'll end up on the clouds. I think that's the quote, but you get what I mean, right? But on the other end of the spectrum, naturally, having big dreams can lead to a hell of a lot of self-doubt. And again, you may relate to this feeling of just having these big, ambitious goals and knowing deep down in your heart that you are meant for more. You've always been meant for bigger things, but it's like deep down you know this, but at the same time, maybe even though these dreams are great and they inspire me, maybe they are just a little bit too big for me to realistically set my mind to. And these massive dreams naturally lead to us making a whole bunch of excuses as to why it's impossible for us, or why, maybe we aren't lucky enough, or we weren't born rich enough, or handsome enough, or successful enough. And we come up with these amazing, very creative, yet unbelievably destructive reasons as to why our dreams aren't possible for us. We tell ourselves that we need to support ourselves, right? We have to make a living. Like everybody says, you need a job. You need to make money so you can survive. And even though that is true to some extent, I truly believe that a lot of these very realistic kind of excuses that we make for ourselves really are a lot more of an excuse than a reality. And I think that we make these things a lot bigger of an obstacle than they really need to be. And I'll explain why. If you are watching this video today and you are lucky enough to be in your 20s and your 30s, this message is for you. And the message that I want to share with you today is drop all worries of pretty much anything else, right? And focus on the fact that if you do not pursue your dreams right now, there may come a time in your life where you will never be able to pursue those dreams ever again. And that, as dramatic as fuck as this sounds, and that may lead you into the biggest depression of your entire life. And you may be on death's bed with a hell of a lot more regrets than you would have liked to have had at the end of your life. You know deep down that what I am saying right now is very undeniably true for a multitude of reasons. One being that if you look at any study or any interview done with old people lying in an old age home, they all say the same thing. The number one dying regret of the dying regret of the dying is the fact that they are dying. It's like fourth dying here. They are dying with the knowledge that they never chased the thing that they most wanted to do. And they realize at the end of it all that life was just some big scam and some big game anyways. So why the fuck didn't they go for the things that really lit their hearts on fire? In case you forgot this obvious fact, you literally have one life to live, my friend. One go at this thing called life. And more importantly than that, if you are 20s, maybe early 30s watching this video, you have only 10 years, 15, maybe 20 years of being a young person. And that means you are young, hopefully. And I know this doesn't apply to everybody, but if you're lucky enough to have this situation right now where you have no real responsibilities, and I'm not talking about that part-time job that you so badly need to afford your Converse sneakers, right? Not to attack you here, but it doesn't mean that little job that you're so afraid to lose. It doesn't mean school. It doesn't mean anything that isn't a serious kind of obligation, unless you are literally a parent with children, unless you have debt coming out your ears. And I know that some of you definitely do have that. Like I said, respect to the grind. But if you are willing to be honest with me right now, you might realize that even though, yes, there are some responsibilities that you need to take care of as a young adult, I mean, in comparison to adults, right, the rest of the world, like 40s, 50s and above, you have no responsibilities and your life is very much your own. But I hate to tell you this, it's not going to be like that forever. Very quickly, you will pile on a whole bunch of responsibilities. You will buy a house, a car, you'll have kids, you'll have a wife, a husband, you name it. And then pursuing a dream, even though not impossible, it becomes a hell of a lot harder to achieve when you are just encapsulated by this mountain of responsibility. And I don't think you quite realize this just yet, but the return on investment of you chasing your dreams is massively large, right? If you really take a minute to think about it, even though, yes, there may be a lot of reasons as to why you're afraid of chasing those dreams, and we'll discuss that now, and I'll try to show you, if you just reshape your perspective of this whole thing, a lot of these kind of fears are nothing more than just silly excuses you've made for yourself. But I digress. The point I'm trying to make is that if you go for your dream now, right, if it doesn't work out, let's say you attack it with full force, you do everything you can in your early 20s, late 20s, early 30s to achieve that dream, and it just becomes a fuck up, you still literally have decades of your life to play it safe, to go get the regular job, to do the thing that everybody else is doing, having kids, getting a regular job. You have time to do that, right? So if it fucks up, it's not the end of the world. But here's the thing, right? If it works, and this is a part of the equation not many people ever think about, if it actually works and it takes off, your life will be absolutely set for the rest of your life. You will live a life that so many people, majority, like 99% of people, never get to experience, all because they were so afraid of pursuing the thing that was most meaningful to them. And ironically enough, that thing that they love the most makes them tremendously successful. But even though deep down you fundamentally know you are meant for a bigger life, you're meant for so much more, you also kind of know that deep down in there, somewhere inside of you, are limiting beliefs that made you forget about your potential. They made you believe that you weren't good enough to achieve these dreams. And that could have come from parents. It could have come from friends, well-meaning adults that just wanted you to be safe, right? And this is the very stuff that you are enacting out now in your own life. They just wanted the best for you, but they didn't realize that these little suggestions or safety precautions or reality checks actually kind of limited you from pursuing what was most meaningful to you. And the sad fact of the matter is right now you have these absolutely limiting beliefs that are holding you back from achieving your dream. And one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I've just recently overcome for myself, and I promise you, when you grasp this concept, it'll change your whole life. And I've done a whole video dedicated to this topic. So if you want to hear about it properly, I'll link it there. But essentially, one of my favorite authors, Mark Manson, revealed recently that so many times when we have a dream, let's say, for example, you want to be a YouTuber like me. What the fuck is wrong with this light? You really don't want to be a YouTuber. Lights irritate the shit out of you. This is not worth it. But let's say you want to be a YouTuber like me. You're crazy enough to want that life, right? You think in your head, oh, okay, to be a successful YouTuber, I've got to be Mr. Beast level, right? I got to have like 1 million subs. I got to have like billions in the bank. I got to be rolling, bro. Everybody has to know my name. But you don't stop and think, okay, what do I actually define as being successful? And for a lot of you, you may not realize this, but for so many average people, you just want to escape your job, right? You just don't want to work the regular 9 to 5 anymore. And you just want to make enough money online doing something you love so that you don't have to work anymore. You don't need the millions and billions of subscribers to do that. You literally need like 200 people that are so ride or die for you that they will literally pay you for any service that you provide, whether that's coaching, whether that's courses, whether that's entertainment. You can find 200 people to pay you. Yes, it may take you 5 years, it may take you 10, but it's not impossible. And it honestly sounds so much more realistic when you put it that way versus this whole mentality of, I need to be the big bad man just dominating shit in order to be successful, your limiting beliefs are literally holding you back and you don't even realize it. And you may not be ready to admit this to yourself right now, but if you are, I respect you, because the second biggest reason most people don't chase their dreams, other than the fact that they think they can't do it, is because they are so damn worried about what other people think of them. They are so scared to step outside of the mold, step outside of this box that we've all created as a normal life, normal job, normal relationship, normal family life, right? They are so scared to take a step out in fear that other people will judge them for it. And this will literally be the death of you. If you do not realize that it doesn't fucking matter what other people think of you and the opinions of what they say you should or shouldn't be doing, you will forever be miserable because you will always be identifying or labeling your own success according to what others deem to be successful, right? You are so afraid of people, literally people you don't even give a fuck about and clearly don't give a fuck about you. You're so scared of these people talking behind your back saying, oh, Stacy wants to be a singer. Oh, Bob wants to be a Elon Musk scientist. I don't know, bro. You know, you're so afraid of this shit talking about other people saying you are, like I said, you are this age now. You should be playing it safe. You should have kids. You should want stability and independence and all this stuff. But you know deep down that that's not what you want. You may have a completely different set of ideals and wants and desires like I do, but you won't act on that. You are too much of a bitch to literally do this to other people and say, you know what? Screw you, bro. Like, take others' advice, heed warnings, don't be crazy, but do this most of the time. Because those people genuinely don't have your best interests at heart. If anything, they see you trying to pursue a different path. And because that makes them uncomfortable, they shit talk you. But that just shows the kind of caliber that person really is. Do you really want your entirety of your life to be determined by this caliber of people telling you that what you're doing is crazy? I'd hope not. And this issue leads to a bigger problem, and that problem is lifestyle inflation. And if you don't know what this means, it means that you are so kind of warped with society's expectations of you and the standards of being successful that in order to be perceived as successful to everybody and their grandmother, you'll go and buy the car just to look like you've made it. You'll go and buy the house that you can't afford. You'll have the kid that you can't afford to feed. You'll do all this stuff just so that everybody looks at you and says, that's right. That's normal. You're doing good. It just boggles my mind. And people will literally take that feeling of inadequacy and just buy all this shit that they can't afford. And then guess what? Now they're just stuck with this mountain of debt that they didn't want. And now they can't pursue their dreams because every bit of their waking hour is spent in making money to pay off the shit that they didn't want in the first place. Instead of being like chilling on a couch, broke as hell, maybe in one flat apartment, but you're happy as pig shit chasing your dream every single day because you didn't fall for this bullshit of building this huge, grandiose life that nobody cares about. I'm getting way too hot, bro. Give me a sec. The reason I am getting so damn hyped right now and so frustrated is because for the longest time, I was utterly and absolutely miserable. I felt like the world's biggest failure. I felt so behind in my own life for the longest time period. I can't even explain to you how shitty I felt. Because I felt lost and I felt as though I wasn't living up to the expectations of other people. And I wasn't doing the classic thing that every young adult should be doing. And that made me feel like an absolute failure. And you know what? On paper, you could say I'm a failure, right? I'm 27 years old. I don't have a serious girlfriend. I don't have a full-time job or a career ladder that I'm climbing. I stay at home with my parents. On paper, you may say, you're behind. You need to get your shit together. And for the longest time, I truly believed that. I felt as though my life was lacking and I just woke up every day feeling so ungrateful for the life I was given. Until I finally sat down one day and asked myself the question, what is it that I define as success for myself? Not what other people think, not what other people want success to be like for me. What makes Niall feel successful and what makes me feel happy? And when I realized that, deep and truly, when I tell you what I want right now, what my dreams are, you may laugh, and that's fine. Like I said, I've come to that part where I don't need the approval of others to want this because I'm happy. I'm blissfully happy. I'm more happy than I've been in such a long time. And more importantly, I'm grateful for my life more than I've ever been. And I'll tell you why. It's because I sat down one day and I realized that for me to be happy, let me tell you what I don't want. I don't want a serious relationship. As much as everybody else is saying, you need to get a girlfriend and get serious and maybe have kids. I don't want that. I genuinely don't want that. I want to be free and single and meet people and spend time with the boys. But more importantly, I want that freedom to pursue something like this, to pursue a YouTube online coaching business and a music career. That is what makes me feel fulfilled and happy. I literally work a part-time job that I love, by the way. I'm so grateful that I have even a job that I really like. But I have a part-time job that allows me to finance the freedom to pursue this kind of business. I have freedom over the majority of my time so that I can record videos, so that I can pursue my passions and hopefully build up a successful business that will support me one day. And sure, it's not enough money to get married right now and buy a big house and have all these fancy things. But I just realized that I don't fucking want that. I want to do things that are meaningful to me. And that doesn't mean having a fat paycheck. And you know why I can do that? Because I don't have any responsibilities, because I'm taking advantage of the advantages that I have. And my goal for the end of this year is to move into a 1-bedroom apartment that I have a space to be independent, to be free. I can support myself with all the necessities, maybe treat myself here and there, treat yourself, king. But I'm free enough to do the things that bring me joy and make me feel like my time is being used correctly for myself. I am finally living according to my own damn standards. I am doing everything that I want to be doing, and I'm doing it responsibly. I also want to mention that just in case you didn't kind of get that part, but don't be a sponge. Don't drop out of university. Don't throw your job away and live on your parents' couch. Don't do that, right? It's a possibility, but don't do that, right? Pull your own weight. Get the part-time job if you need to. All I'm saying is be smart, contribute where you need to contribute. Give back to your family, make enough money to pay your mom and dad so that you are contributing at home. But do not think that you need to be spending all your waking hours working a job that you absolutely hate just to finance the bloody stupid car that you didn't need, to impress the dumbass friends that you don't even care about that much and that don't even care about you. Whew. It just boggles my mind. And yes, the way I'm choosing to live my life may make me look like a loser to everybody else. I'm that loser 27-year-old making YouTube videos, pursuing a music career very late into his 20s, not trying to get serious about a relationship or a job or anything like that. But that's what I want. And I don't care. It's when I realized that the other people's opinions didn't matter and that it's what makes me happy and fulfilled. That's all that matters to me. And I'm happy. I feel so overjoyed and grateful. Like I said, now I wake up and I'm like, I'm so grateful I have free time. When all my friends are working jobs they hate, I'm doing something that I love and I'm getting paid to do it. And I'm really just able to live the kind of lifestyle that I want. And that may change. Like I said, one day I may want to get the regular job and the kids and the family, and that's beautiful. But when that time comes, I will do the things that I want to do for that naturally. I won't be doing it based on the opinions of other people. And you may be thinking, well, now, what if this fails? What if this channel never takes off? What if you never make money online? What if you just have to get a regular job? So be it. That is what I want you to understand today. I am sitting here right now showing you that I'm putting myself on the line. My reputation, my career success, all this stuff, I'm putting it on the line because I realize that at least if this all just fucks up and it fails and nothing comes of this, I'm okay with that. Purely because I know that I went for it. When everybody else played it safe, when everybody else was too scared to be honest about what they wanted and to be honest about what they really wanted to pursue in their life, I didn't. I went for it and I was true to myself till the very end. And even if I have to end up being the regular Joe, even if I have to start all over again at 30, fuck it, bro. I don't care because nobody really cares. As much as you think everybody's judging you, it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck anyways? If it all fails, I'm okay to start at ground zero. But at least I'll get to my deathbed realizing that I gave it horns, bro. I tried my absolute hardest and I was true to myself. And to me, that's all that really matters. If you're watching this video today with a very limited amount of responsibilities, I get life is hard. I get we all have things to deal with, but you're never going to be this free. You need to worry very much about your current dreams, goals, and ambitions. Because if you don't start worrying about it now, your time might be up faster than you realize. Chase the dreams, man. You get one life to do it.